not going to do that to you. Happy Friday, March 24th, 3:15. And away we go. Welcome to the Market Minute with Krycopter. I am Krycopter. You can find me on Twitter at Krycopter, Krycopter. I am him. I didn't mean to say it like that. Alright, sorry for missing yesterday. As you can see, I'm pretty fucking exhausted, so this market is a mental fuck you game. It's all about keeping you on your toes and fucking you as many ways as possible. We talked 2 days ago on FOMC. Powell came out hawkish. He kind of kissed you early with all the banking chirps, and then came in hot with the hawkish talk about banks, or that inflation's still fucked and they need to raise rates to fend off inflation. Like that's still their number one goal, and it's just interesting that they decided to do all this so late. They were convinced that inflation was transitory, and that was the biggest load of shit ever. And it's either they didn't know that, or they did know that inflation was here for real and were late to the game. Either way, unacceptable, inexcusable. And the market really sold off on Yellen. We talked about all this already, but really sold off on Yellen saying they weren't going to backstop these small regional banks, and that's what really killed the market on Wednesday. But in true form, market opened up at 5 p.m. that night and basically just rallied. Rallied basically. Just fucking market, man. Excuse me. My eyes are cooked. I need a long break from this. So let's see. From the Powell high of, I'm looking at ES, which is the futures. 40.73 is probably like 450 on SPX, maybe a little bit lower. From the high of 40.73 to a low of 39.67, so 106 exactly, 106 points from high to low. Market opened up that night, ticked 1 point below that low, and then rallied from 39.77 basically straight up to 4,000. They kind of chopped a little bit. It tested 39.77 and then just went all the way back up to 40.39. And it took another little digger, and then it took a big digger after that. That was yesterday's close. And all this was kind of stemmed from more bank fallout. There's, Goldman was up, I think, $7 to start the day, end of the day red. First Republic got another hit, and then you got the Coinbase got a Wells notice, and everything was like, oh shit, here we go again. And then let's see. So Yellen was testifying yesterday too, so the market was kind of selling off into her a little bit. And then of course her statements come back and say, yeah, you know what, we are looking to backstop all these deposits, basically bailing out everybody. And what happened? The market rallied right back up to 4,000. And that was actually the close yesterday was a big rally, and then a nice little tank afterwards. But then you realize that most of this selling, and you saw the proof today, fucking ridiculous, is Deutsche Bank, UBS, all these Euro banks are now in trouble, and they're trying to figure out how to solve that problem. You got Jim Cramer saying Deutsche is perfect, which means everybody wants to short Deutsche now. So we got that news kind of overnight. Market sold off from about 4,000, about 50 points. Made new lows. Okay. Made new lows from the since Powell. But we're all the way back to the lows on fucking Monday. We didn't even take out the lows from Monday. We didn't even get close. $40 points? 40 points? That's all you got? It doesn't want to rally and doesn't want to sell off. It just wants to chop and keep you guessing. That's why you gotta get in and get out. This market is just, I don't even know. Today was just fucking tomfoolery. I barely traded. I got early. I watched, but I got caught an early wave up, and then just said, you know what, nothing's making sense today. We have the regional bank ETF is up. Big boy Nvidia is down. Apple is basically down all day. Google, I think, had a big reversal today. Yeah, $2.5, $3 reversal. It's like, all right, so the carousel of money just continues to go up and down and around and rotate, and everybody's like, is money coming out of the market, or they're just moving it? And I'm pretty sure they're just moving it. BlackRock, Citadel, State Street, Vanguard, they're just moving. All right, we're here, now 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 we're here. I don't think the market's going to go anywhere unless we get a black swan event. That's the only thing that really breaks everything, is a black swan event, a COVID thing. And the next one, like, what could it be if it's not the banks failing? Is it a U.S. default? I think even that would be short-lived. It would probably go down to 3,600, then rally right back to 4,000. It's crazy. And everybody on Twitter is bearish as fuck. I mean, we got commercial real estate, 1.7 trillion potential write-offs for these banks. Fed balance sheet went up 400 billion in the last week. They undid 6 months of QT in a week. 6 months it took them to get rid of that much on their balance sheet, and then just put it back on in 1 week. People want to play the semantics game of, oh, that's not QE, that's not QE, it's overnight lending. It's fucking QE. It is. Anytime, look, I can take a shit in a bag, in 2 bags, one's diarrhea, one's hard, like nice firm shit, and go, well, this one's not the same as this one. They're both shit. What the Fed's doing is QE. They're easing financial conditions by allowing these banks to borrow. Even if it's temporary, it's not temporary. You think these banks are just going to pay that back right away? Come on. No freaking chance. It's all QE, and if you want to get semantics about it, it's just wasting your time. The reason the market didn't completely collapse is because the Fed supported by $400 billion. It's that simple. That's QE. Easing financial conditions. I mean, you can write it however you want, but I mean, just, I don't know. It's frustrating to me that, like, that's what we're bickering about, is, oh, it's not QE, it's not whatever. The Fed bailed out these banks. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, so they're easing financial conditions. Yes. Okay, you want to call it quantitative easing, you want to call it bailouts, whatever. Anyways, sorry. Just, there's more important things going on, for sure. than bickering on if it's QE or not. And at the end of the day, we're still in the same freaking range we've been in for 10 months. Yeah, Bulls win this week. Will Bears win this week? Bulls win next week. Bears win the next week. Bulls win the next week. Bears. No one's really has the upper hand. We're in the same fucking trend we've been in. What was the old Wall Street quote? Bears make money, Bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered. I think actually pigs are cleaning up right now. I'd consider myself a pig, and I'm fucking... Things are good. Things are really good. It's when people get the bias of this is where we or should be going, whatever. That's when you get yourself in trouble. Also, don't understand my charts. I think Interactive Brokers is all fudged up. Maybe not. From last September. Yeah, I guess. I mean, we're just slowly getting tighter and tighter. Although, actually, if you like to draw lines on charts, I don't. I think it's silly. We actually broke the downtrend, 2 weeks ago? Actually, in January, we broke it. Had a big pop, came down, tested it, and bounced off it. So that's interesting. I don't see anybody post. Maybe I'll post that and just throw it out there for the masses, because actually the MACD is turning up. I mean, I feel like if a banking crisis can't break this below range, we could barely break last week. Let's see. I mean, we closed higher than we were last week in the midst of a banking crisis. What are we talking about here? This market's not, again, black swan. It needs a black swan, or it's just going to continue doing what it's doing. That's my point of view. And shit, I could be wrong, but I have been right so far. And all right, I'll move on. It was cool to see Elon say that that AI is like already absurdly powerful and slightly terrifying, because that's what I said 2 months ago when Microsoft made its purchase or giant investment in ChatGPT. At that same time, I said NVIDIA was the biggest benefactor, and basically since then, what was it, like 150 when all that shit came out, 160 maybe. It's up $100 since, so no one else is gonna tap me on the back, so I guess I'll do it. Everybody was yelling insiders sold, shelf offering, all that other shit, and pull up a weekly. One red bar since January 8th. And you guys want to short strength. I don't understand it. I just don't. Pull up a daily, I don't know, today was, maybe. But then you look at the last time, it kind of broke down from one of these pumps, and we got 3 days. Pump it right back up. We'll see. Next week should be interesting, but I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of more bullish charts here than I'm seeing bearish. I'm tired of all the bickering. I mean, VIX was at 24 yesterday. It's back at 2170. Call me when it's 30 for 4 days. Gold rallied to 2K. That was cool. And now it's back down about $25. So this one is interesting. Bitcoin has held its gains. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. Nasdaq's coming out with custodial trading. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Basically, they need to own it and have it on the books for people to trade it. So I wonder if that's part of it. We'll see. And we'll see if that, again, basically everything they're doing, anytime one of these exchanges, NASDAQ, NYSE, ICE, CBOT, all these exchanges, CME, once they get a hold of one of these products, it becomes manipulatable. So we'll see. We'll see what they do to Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow they do what they did to all this other shit where they just use computers to manipulate the options, which then control the price, and then they pin them where they want them. I mean, market's just straight up after hours, too. And you knew it was Euro stuff, too, because right at 10:30, when Europe shut, 10:30, we're trading at 39.57. The next 15 minutes, we're trading at 39.80. Biggest pump of the day. Then, try to figure it out. They tried to kind of push it back down to test it. It held beautifully, and then that was it. Straight up. Straight up. And again, this is a market of money rotation, not money exiting. I mean, banks were all red today, except for, oddly enough, Bank of America, which led the decline yesterday. That was the biggest decliner yesterday, and today it's green, and all the other banks are red, but all making highs after hours. This is what I mean, people. You like to think that this market's not manipulated. It fucking is. It just, you can tell. You can live under a rock as long as you want, but it's manipulated 100%. BlackRock can create shares at any time they want, and they can destroy those same shares on their books. They can do it. They did it with Hood. They did it with GME. Remember when GME's short interest was like 250% at one point? How'd they do that? Yeah, it's manipulated. Until you prove me wrong, and good luck. Good luck. Alright. I'm sounding angry. I'm not angry. I'm just tired. Let's see. Has anybody ever been on StockTwits? That's a weird site. There's a lot of bullshit on there. It's funny, you can call people out easily on their paper trading when they they'll say they bought X amount at whatever price, and then you go to that option chain and it just doesn't exist. That shit's, I've called a few people out on that. It's hilarious. This guy said he bought 1,000 ENVX puts last week for this week. And he said, let's see, what were they? The 1050s, I think. That's the wrong one. Yeah, the 1050s. He said he bought 1,000 of these things last week. Currently open interest. And he said, what did he say? I think he said, I can look it up. I don't really care that much, but basically say he bought them on March 16th. Volume on March 16th, 3. Shut the fuck up. Why are people like this? I don't understand. I do want to talk about a few things. Rumble, that thing's moving pretty nice. It was down quite a bit today, but rallied back nicely. Actually rallied back. Did news come out? Did I miss something? What the hell was that? Had a huge volume spike in the middle of the day. Brian Callen, oh boy. Yeah, I'd get along with this, people. So here's the thing. Here's why I like Rumble so much. Brian Callen, Nick D, Piop, Piola, Mr. Guns and Gear, and Jim Brewer. Crowder show is gonna blow up. What I like, exclusive videos. That's sweet. So the reason I like this one so much is because I do think the pendulum of censorship and cancel culture has already started to swing back into the freedom side of things. And it's going to take YouTube. Oh, that was the other thing that's just reminded me. Thank goodness. Bing and Google. The pendulum's swinging back into the freedom column, and YouTube's going to be fucking late as hell with their censorship bullshit. And people are going to start flooding towards Rumble. I think last month they hit a record on users, and I'm on Rumble, by the way. I can't quite live stream there yet. I'm not big enough, but soon enough, peeps. The pendulum's swinging back, and I think Rumble's in the perfect position to capture them. They're all about the freedom of speech. Obviously, you can't do dumb shit on there, like kill people, porn, pedo, all that shit's not allowed. Reasonable restrictions, very reasonable. But they're not going to cancel you because you said Fauci's a piece of shit. They're not going to do it. They're not going to ban your account. And I think that's what people want. They want to be able to see the info and decide for themselves. I think culture has had enough of career unelected officials and elected officials telling us what we can and can't see. We're smarter than they think we are. That's why our education system sucks, because they think if they keep us dumb enough, they can control us long enough, and if they control the information, they can control us. It's not working. It's backfiring. I think the pendulum's swinging back, and I think Rumble's in a perfect position to capture the video game. Long this one, big time. I may keep adding to $8.30 right now. $8.35. Market cap 2.3. So my two biggest holdings are like the exact same market cap, I think. 2.3 and 1.7 for ENVX. Which again, TJ Rogers bought another $1 million worth of shares yesterday. Or I think that was 2 days ago. They did that dropped shortly after I stopped streaming, but yeah, good luck. Oh yeah, all these like fucking. You ever notice this when? Another thing that's wrong with our markets and just shit in general is after the reset of ENVX, when they had the presentation that basically said we're cleaning house and sorry that we haven't been as transparent as we should have been, and these numbers are a little bit different than they should be, and we're taking full accountability and we apologize and we didn't do anything wrong. And they didn't do anything wrong. If they did, the SEC would have investigated, but they didn't. I call it the Great Reset, and that's when everything has turned back up for ENVX. Maybe a day after that presentation, like 7, 8, I think 10 maybe even, no-name law firms just started hitting the newswire saying, looking for people who lost over 100K to join into a potential class action lawsuit. Now the plebes go, they're being sued by like 10 different groups. They were never sued. Basically what these small shitty law firms do is they try to gather up enough people to then make a class action lawsuit. And if they can't, I think they get 2 months or so. I think it's 2 months. I see a lot of like early March expiry is on most of these, and if they don't get enough people, they can't file a class action lawsuit. However, it's literally every day, some firm goes, reminder, sign up for our lawsuit against these guys. And not one of those materialized, which means all those fucking lawsuits were complete bullshit, and their small ass law firms are just trying to make $1. And the worst part about it is that let's say you lost 100K on the Great Reset in January for ENVX, right? And then you join this class action lawsuit, you lost 100K, you're probably going to get, I don't know, like $100 back maybe. You're getting pennies on the dollar. And then the law firm will clean up like 500K in fees. It's fucking baffling that this shit's allowed. Either have a real lawsuit, file it. Just stop fucking grifting and making money off of dumb shit. Have a fucking spine. Again, I'm not angry. I don't know why I'm ranting like this. So yeah, Rumble. ENVX finally had a red day, but I mean, not normally, but in the past, this thing would be down 10% on red days. It can barely get down like 3 now. That's strength. That's powerful. And, the future's bright with them. I think only good news comes from here on out. So, all right, last thing I'll talk about, because in my earlier streams when the whole Microsoft ChatGPT shit came out, I go, Microsoft bought ChatGPT. You could look back. I'm going to start labeling my videos a little better and reposting them, because, a lot of shit I've said so far has been validated. So just kind of create more exposure and see if we can get more people informed. And talk and just open dialogue about stuff. I'd leave comments, likes, dislikes, questions. Like, the interaction's the best. Like, let's quit it with the bickering. Even though I'm bickering today. Because these markets are completely fucked, and the more informed we are and the more together we are as smaller retail players who, don't even show blips on any option chain, the better we'll all do against these fuckheads. Anyways, I said that if they integrate ChatGPT into the search bar of Bing, it basically redesigns the entire idea of searching, right? Like the old search, this will date me. Like Ask Jeeves was, you ask Jeeves, basically you're Googling, but it was like you're talking to a guy, but obviously you're just searching the web, and that was just kind of their face for it. Google, same thing, but Google just sped it up and created like the biggest ass fucking database of all time. Now ChatGPT not only finds where to find information, it finds the information that you're looking for. So it's a whole new way to search. And I say if Bing integrates that into the search engine, or Microsoft integrates it into the Bing search engine, they're going to steal that market share from Google. It was like yesterday, I think, who came out and said that fucking Bing's stealing market share from Google. It's unbelievable. And it makes total sense. Search is old. It got fucking old. And Microsoft went on a freaking tear. And it was green today. Microsoft's pushing Microsoft and NVIDIA have very similar charts. They both have this head and shoulders pattern from August. And they're both at that shoulder level, 283. If this thing gets to 294, it's fucking gone. And the other thing I'm seeing too is like all these big boys make up 30% of the S&P. Excuse me. Or 40%, whatever it is. You know what that's going to do? Create a giant rebalance at the end of the quarter. When they do that, it's like life changing. You catch the S&P go You catch like an option, 10 minutes left in the day, it goes from 5 cents to $15. And I think this rebalance is going to be massive. Might be down, might be in puts this time because all the big boys are going to smoke the S&P, but you're going to get some fucked up moves, and then it's rebalanced. And, the smaller players go, get higher weight, and they trim the big players, and then it's rebalanced. So it's like, it's these cycles that just get forgotten of, okay, if Microsoft goes down $10 on Monday, then the S&P is going to be red. It's not going to crash. You know how many ETFs and funds and IRA, 401ks and enterprises own shares in all the big boys? Do you think they're actively trading it? They're just holding it. They are just holding it. Those are the safest plays in the market. We go into a recession, you think Apple's go bankrupt or die? No, it might come down. Might sell off 10%. But it's still up like 400% after split. Even more than that, I think it's like 10x from like 5-6 years ago. It's like, those funds are sitting in these things so pretty, and when they do sell, they sell a small amount so they get into something else. It's just, I don't know. It's all the same cycle, and people get loud at the low of the range and loud at the high of the range, and they forget everything else. This market's not going anywhere until a black swan happens. Until Bank of America, JP Morgan, Goldman, Morgan Stanley, one of these banks blows up, and I'll be worried. That's your black swan. What? 100 regional banks fail? No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. And now that this commercial $1.7 trillion potential write-off for these guys is known, what do you think they're going to do now? Just going to let it happen? No, they'll come up with more creative tools to prevent it from happening, and market will rally. I'm a pig, okay? I'm trading moves, daily moves, not going huge, but I'm not doing overnight shit. I'm not doing week outs. I got some long-term plays, in ENVX and rum and a few other names, but I mean, calling for a crash for the past 8 months is just, you got a banking crisis and it still hasn't happened. When's it going to happen? Black swan, something massive has to happen, not regional banks blowing up. All right, that's enough. Hope I didn't bore all the fuck out of you. I don't know, I think it was quite entertaining, but that's just me. All right, I'm out. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Have a safe weekend. Hit subscribe, tell your friends. Be safe. Thank you all for watching and following my tweets. My Twitter followers are going up ever so slightly, but every day counts. Every person counts. I love you all. Thanks for the support. Leave a comment, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on Monday. All right, love you. Bye.